Simon Parkin.
Radio Somerset.
Make a difference.
Now, here's the thing. Take note of the significance of the dates. It's January 28th, and this week, staff and volunteers at the large vaccination centre at Bath Racecourse marked 1 year since the centre opened and welcomed its first member of the public for one of the now famous jabs in the arm. Well, since opening in January 2021, the vaccination centre, who counted this, I have no idea, has delivered 230,000 vaccinations, including 51,000 booster jabs. And one of the team there who, I've worked this out, spent almost a third of the year there, is Susanne Haselgrove from Bath. Morning, Susanne.
Hi, Simon.
How lovely to have you here. Now, you are one of the army of volunteers there. How come you came to volunteer?
Well, you probably know that 3SG is a coordinating group for volunteers in the Bath area, and in response to the pandemic, they set up a number of initiatives which ended up with providing the volunteers for the vaccination centre. And I started off by helping process the applications. And then when they still needed people to actually be on the ground, I've checked in my diary, and my first shift was on the 29th of January.
Wow. And what a lovely thing to have been part of. And how exciting it was at the beginning when we were rolling this out really quickly. This was going to change our world.
Absolutely. And it was very interesting that you had people, often older people at the beginning, who hadn't been out of the house for ages, and they dressed up to come and were so keen to have their vaccination and try and be safe. And very much what the volunteers are there for, we're the sort of human face of the process, because obviously the professionals and the admin staff have got lots of jobs to do. But if we've got time to talk to people and possibly, if they're a bit nervous, have a chat with them and tell them what's going to happen. And in the summer, it was interesting when we had some of the younger people coming. They were in some ways more nervous than some of the older people had been. So, you know, they looked on the surface very confident, but they also welcomed a bit of reassurance about what was going to happen and tell them it was all going to be all right.
You mentioned you're part of a volunteering organisation anyway. Have you ever been involved in anything quite like this, though?
No, not anything quite like this. No, not the scale of it all. And also all the different groups of people who are involved, because 3SG provides the majority of the volunteers, but there are also people from St John's Ambulance as well. And then a lot of the staff have come back, the paid staff have come back to support the vaccination effort. So you've got a real an amazing team of people with different experiences, and the volunteers have all come from different backgrounds, and you know, everybody wants to make it as good an experience for people coming for their vaccinations as possible. And we're getting a lot of young people coming through now, which is fantastic, because obviously they're out and about, and it's really important for them to have their jabs. So they're coming with their mums and dads, and they're fantastic, and we see a lot of them. I think we had last weekend, there was sort of like 700 young people came, and that's very much, at the moment, young people coming, and we want as many as possible to do it.
It's so lovely to hear you say that you've still got a lot of people coming through, because it's very difficult when you just see the numbers on the news not necessarily going up as rapidly as they did at the beginning, that you kind of forget that there's still a lot of people who are getting boosted, getting jabs for the first time.
Absolutely, and you know, it doesn't matter if you're coming for your first jab or your fourth jab. That's the best way to protect yourself, your family, your loved ones. And, you know, it's not obviously only at the racecourse, but the racecourse is a really good place to come because everyone's very efficient and very pleased to see you.
Have you got, in your 100 days there, have you got a favourite moment, a favourite experience that you've had?
You know, everybody who comes through is special to us, and we've had a lot of people, you know, who can be very frail, and, you know, looking after them's been important because we've given them seats to sit down in and reassure them, and those are very special. You know, people who it makes a huge difference to. I think that's the main thing for me.
And so how long are you going to keep volunteering there?
Well, as long as they need us, really. We're certainly booking up through February, but I'm also volunteering for the new Bath Heritage Centre, so I'll be juggling between the two of them when that opens fully in the spring.
Well, we wish you all the very best with it, and it's been so lovely talking to you today. And please pass on our congratulations to all of the team there on what an amazing year that you've had. Thank you, Susanne.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.